4 players, only on N64.
That is so far removed from what I think of when I think of Diddy Kong Racing. That's hilarious. Oh, the 90s. Anyway, hello guys, and if you guys watch my Pokemon stream today, this will be the second time I'm saying that today. Usually, if I do a special stream like that, that's usually it. But I planned on playing Diddy Kong Racing today, and holy crap, I am going to play Diddy Kong Racing. Alright, so Diddy Kong Racing. This game was released in 1997 and was created by Rare, who at the time were definitely hitting their stride in the gaming industry. They got their start on the ZX Spectrum, a Japan-only computer system for moving to the NES, which they actually weren't given permission to use at first because they were denied by Nintendo, but they were able to crack the NES's lockout chip. So because of that, Nintendo decided to give them unlimited licensing so that they could make as many games as they wanted on the NES, which was very uncommon for the time. Even big companies like Atari were denied that. So, after a very lucrative run on the NES, they moved to the Super Nintendo, and that's where they really became a legend with Donkey Kong Country. So, after a trilogy on the NES, they moved to the N64, and their next big game was going to be Banjo-Kazooie, which they were billing as the successor to the Donkey Kong Country series. And because of that, it became a very big part of Nintendo's marketing strategy for that holiday season. However, it became very clear that Banjo-Kazooie just wasn't going to be ready in time, so they delayed it to the next year, but that left a hole in Nintendo's release schedule for the holidays. So they asked Rare if they had anything else that could be finished in time for the season, and thankfully Rare was a company that prided themselves on not just quality but quantity. They always had projects in the pipeline. And one game was a kart racer in the vein of Mario Kart 64 that was set to be Pro-Am 64. It was a sequel to the NES game Pro-Am. Nintendo was impressed by what they saw, and Shigeru Miyamoto was among them, and he suggested turning the game into a Diddy Kong game for marquee value, and thus Diddy Kong Racing was born. And the game would go on to become the fastest selling video game at the time, according to the Guinness Book of World Records. And even today, Diddy Kong Racing is still highly regarded. This is just one of the big signature games for the Nintendo 64 and is a childhood favorite for many. This is like one of those games that I have so many memories playing with my brothers on Saturday nights after just enjoying the weekend away from school. At family gatherings, I would play this all the time with the cousins, and it's just something I would go back to for the entirety of my life. So, as you can tell, I'm really excited to play it. I'm doing 2 streams in one day, so let's just go ahead and get this started. We're going to be playing this directly off my N64, which is really old, both the game and the console itself, so I really hope it doesn't crap out on me. Come on, I just had this working a minute ago. It's gonna be really embarrassing if I can't get this to work. There we go. Oh. That is a mark of quality if I had ever seen one. Whoa! The whiz pick. Oh man, it's just so representative of my childhood. I love it. I love this title screen too. The graphic design on the title itself is just kind of okay. This is just emblematic of how title screens were on the N64. Unlike the PlayStation where you had demo discs for stores, when you put up a game for display at, say, Toys R Us, you had to just select a game to show off. So having a title screen like this where it just shows gameplay was really effective. It was kind of like in the arcades how they would have brief snippets of video games to sort of drawing players. Because you'd hear the music, you'd go looking for it, you'd see the game, you see the gameplay, you're like, I immediately want to play this. And I love this character select screen so much. With most character select screens, it's just like a menu with portraits of the characters. But here, you got the characters sitting around like they're getting ready for a post picture or something and just dancing to the music, having a good time. Speaking of the music, that's something else that was really fun about Diddy Kong Racing. And that's how each character doesn't necessarily have their own theme song, but the same theme song but with different instruments, and it changes when you play as a different character. So I have the cursor on Diddy Kong right now. Listen to what happens if I switch to Crunch. Different song, same tune, but it sounds different. It sounds like Crunch, doesn't it? Switch it to Bumper. Now you got a nice guitar. And with banjo, of course, banjo music. Just a really fun quirk for the game, and it's also something that would carry into banjo-kazooie. Speaking of which, you also probably do recognize some of these faces. You of course got Diddy Kong, but Crunch is also a Kremlin from Donkey Kong Country. And of course you got Banjo, who was thrown in at the last minute to promote his game. His first appearance, as a matter of fact. And of course down here you got Conker, appearing long before Conker's Bad Fur Day, which hilariously is so far removed from how he was originally intended to be. If you know, you know. As for everyone else, aside from Tip Top, who appeared in Banjo-Kazooie, all these other characters really only appeared in Diddy Kong Racing. I think Timber was supposed to get his own game, but that never came to fruition. Anyway, it's Diddy Kong Racing, so I'm gonna be my man Diddy. This is something else that's really interesting. Unlike most kart racers, Diddy Kong Racing actually has a single-player campaign, which is just strange to think about. With most games like this, it's just all about the Grand Prix. But Diddy Kong Racing actually gives something for the single-player to do, so that's pretty cool. Just gonna erase one of these real quick. Let's see, Blade. Where's the S? Bladeslinger plays. Oh crap, I think the game crapped out on me. Yep, that is exactly what happened. God, I should have just used an emulator. This is still the same cartridge that I think I got for Christmas one year, so this game is just a few years younger than I am. We'll skip through everything, just go straight into the game. I really should have just emulated this game.
Diddy Kong Racing. I'm Diddy.
There we go. Man, look at that ugly mug. Is it wrong of me to say that every time I see the whiz pig, I get hungry for bacon? Man, look at that ugly. Some really good graphics for the time, too. Look how bright and colorful that is. Raj the elephant.
I am the genie of the island. I'm here to help you. Good luck.
So originally, Raj there was actually supposed to be the main character before Diddy took over. So yeah, we actually have something of a hub world to explore here. Not much to see right now though, so we're just gonna head for our first set of tracks. Need to be sure to get this gold balloon up here though. So everything is separated out into different worlds with different tracks like you would see in, say, Platformer. So, we only got enough for this one, so head to Ancient Lake first.
Ancient Lake.
Love the sound of the revving engines. So the item system in Diddy Kong Racing is really interesting too. Rather than just running over, you know, the balloons in this case and getting a random item like you would in Mario Kart, the balloons are color coded, and that tells you what item you'd get. And if you run over the same colored balloon twice, then you can power up whatever item you have. So it does mean that there's a little less variety in the items that you can use, and it's not as frantic as Mario Kart, but the benefit is that it adds a little more strategy to the races, and also a little more freedom in how you approach them. So I'm in first place right now. If I get a red balloon, I'll get a projectile attack, like say the green mushroom in Mario Kart. But that's not going to do me any good because I was in first place. So I can focus on the blue balloons and just keep myself ahead of the pack with boost. It makes the game a bit more skill-based, I would say, than Mario Kart, where you can get screwed over by items if you're not paying attention or if you just get unlucky. So you're racing to get the gold balloons, which essentially function like power stars in Super Mario 64. And that's probably where they got that idea from too, because Super Mario 64 was just that influential. Even games outside of its genre were taking influence from it. Before I go any further, I just want to do a quick sound check. Super Mario 64. Yeah, sounds still good. Alright, next track, Fossil Canyon.
Fossil Canyon.
So, going from a nice lake bed to desert canyon. Awesome. Got green balloons here, which are oil slick, kind of like bananas in Mario Kart. As for the controls, honestly, this is kind of hard to go back to, mostly because it feels a little floaty. Like, it's hard to explain, but what it feels like is when you turn, that the back end of the cart is sliding out from behind you, rather than turning with the front end. So because of that, it feels a little slippery, but it does feel tighter than, say, Mario's Kart 64, which, if you've been playing the more recent Mario Kart games, it just feels so weird going back to that. It feels like you're not even attached to the ground. You do get used to the controls here, though, and once you do, you can be really tight with your turning, and that becomes instrumental in some later sections of the game, particularly when you get to the boss fights, boss races. And yes, there are boss races in this game, and you will see some before the video is over tonight. Love the music, too. I just knew what they were doing when it came to soundtracks back in the day. I also love how when you hit a jump, your engine revs up a little bit more, which makes sense because there's no more resistance on the wheels. This is pretty good. Alright, next is Jungle Falls. Ah man, missed it. Not sure what the bananas do though. Do those make it go faster? I can't really tell. Man, that's a funky beat. God, that's good. By the way, I love the boost effect in this game too. How you actually see the character head snap back as they get a sudden burst of speed, it's so good. I also really like how even though the levels all have a consistent theme for this first world, in this case dinosaurs, they're all themed in a manner that makes them feel unique too. Just some really good track design. I will say this though, it definitely is better in Mario Kart 64. They definitely do have more varied levels there, and more intricate designs too. Most of the levels in Diddy Kong Racing are just ovals to some degree. But the theme in here is still really good, I like it. Thanks, Raj. Alright, I need one more balloon to get into the next race, so we gotta go back outside for a second. I know where to get one though. I've played this so much over my life. So come over here, honk the horn. Raj walks up.
Select your vehicle. Abracadabra.
And yep, I just transformed this thing into a plane.
Bye-bye for now.
That's another one of the big innovations with Diddy Kong Racing. In addition to the standard cart, you also have access to an airplane and a hovercraft. So that's something that you don't even see in racing games today. So yeah, that's really cool. So now I got another gold balloon, so let's head to the next race.
Down to me.
Hot Top Volcano. This was always my favorite when I was a kid.
Hot top volcano.
Yeah, we're racing with planes this time. So, essentially what I'm doing here. I'm racing through a volcano. Isn't that the most metal thing you've ever heard of? Man, that music, dude. Man, it's good. I think that's cool about the multiple vehicles is that each level doesn't have a vehicle unique to it. So, for example, the last 3 levels I was on, while I did have to race for a cart then, in multiplayer, you had the option to bring the plane and hovercraft into them. And each of them has their own strengths and weaknesses. So the plane here, for instance, obviously isn't affected by terrain and you can fly anywhere, but it's the slowest of the 3 vehicles. The hovercraft isn't affected by terrain either, and it's faster than the plane, but it's a lot harder controls on anything other than water. And then you have the cart, which is the fastest of all 3 of them, but it's affected by terrain. Now, some tracks don't give you access to all 3 vehicles. For example, Hot Top Volcano here, you can only use the plane and hovercraft. But in most of them, you do have the option, and that does lead to a lot of fun in multiplayer. As you can see, I'm decent at this game, and I used to, outrun my brothers. I would always try to use the cart or hovercraft just to make the game more interesting. I thought about having one of my brothers to play this with me tonight, but I wanted to do the single player, so figured it was best to just go solo. Alright, it's time for our first boss race. I hope I can still beat this in one shot.
Well done, kid. Now I challenge you to a race.
Decent voice work for the console, too. Hey, cheater! Gonna ram a rocket right up your butt. I'm gonna do it again. Now, hey! You have squished me. Stupid Tyrannosaur. Wait, you're not a Tyrannosaurus, you're a Triceratops. Eat my dust. If I hug the inside, I should be able to stay ahead of them. And that music is just so much fun for the experience. It's so frantic. I know there's a shortcut coming up here soon. Right here. I don't know why, but this level is making me really want to watch Kong Skull Island again. There we go. One shot.
Well done, kid. Now try my new challenge. Collect all of my silver coins from around the dial domain. You must find 8 from each level and win, and then come back to see me.
I've got something special for you.
Oh, Raj, you're potentially offensive. Alright, so now there's a whole... Now all the levels are opened up again. And if I enter them now, I'll trigger what's called the Silver Coin Challenge. And as the Rhinoceros said, not Rhinoceros, the Triceratops said, the goal there is to collect all the silver coins as you race, and then win the race. Now, so far, Diddy Kong Racing has probably seemed like a really easy game. And the reason for that is, one, I've played this game for a long time, so I'm pretty good at it. And second, it really doesn't start to get hard until later in the game, and it's primarily because of the Silver Coin Challenge. They have those coins hidden in some very frustrating places, and that can make it very hard to win the races. And then, like, you factor in the boss fights, those get absurdly frustrating. Whizpig is really hard to race. Diddy Kong Racing can be a surprisingly hard game, despite how colorful, cute, and friendly it is. Anyway, we're gonna go to another world. I think I gotta race Raj out here first.
I challenge you to a race. Alakazoo.
Bring it on. Gungala. Yeah, they had to use the hub world like this for a racing eventually. Since I've beaten this a few times, I have access to all the vehicles from the get-go, but I think if you play this game raw, you don't get the other vehicles until you do these races. But that's good for me, because that means I can show you more of the game. As you can see, if this were to go on a bit longer, I'd probably lap Raj.
Hello, friend.
Take this as a reward. I'll see you later. Alright, Raj, I need my plane back, though.
Hello, friend. Select your vehicle. Abracadabra. Can I help you further? Bye-bye for now.
Nope. Alright, I said I got some Christmas games for the live stream this month. And I actually do. Diddy Kong Racing is one I picked for that reason. And you'll see when we get into these winter themed levels. By the way, we've entered into the Hanukkah holiday, so for any Jewish folks out there, happy Hanukkah. So as you can see, that tree there is decorated with Christmas lights. And that was something Rare really liked to do back in the day. They would theme their winter levels after Christmas, just to give it a little more life. Which was something I always appreciated as a kid. It just made the winter levels a little more fun to visit, even when it's out of season. So in regards to the plane's controls, it controls for the most part pretty well. Up and down feels a little weird, but turning side to side is alright. And if you hold the button, you can turn a bit sharper, but I think that slows you down. Also, some stunts you can do. You can do a barrel roll and a somersault, but that's only useful for certain parts of the game. It's not a major component of the gameplay. Yes, again, I'm leaving everyone in the dust right now. Yeah, you can definitely see some design influence with how they handle the flying gear that would later carry over into future games, most notably Sonic and Sega All-Star Racing Transformed, which is another game we're going to cover at some point, though we still got lots of Sonic games to go through before we get to that. Watch out for that tree! Would elephants survive in cold climate? I honestly don't know. I don't think so. Oh, this is also TT here. If you were to talk to him, you can turn time trial on for the tracks you finished, and if you manage to beat all his ghosts, you'll unlock him as a playable character. Just something I still haven't gotten around to doing for whatever reason. This track was a favorite of mine when I was a kid. Shoot the curl. Once again, just fantastic music. Ah man, I'm out of position for the shortcut. You really don't want to hit that ice because it causes you to bounce, which is really annoying. Again, really Christmassy vibe here with the level theming and the music as well. This runs really well for an old N64 game, doesn't it? I think it's 30 frames per second, but that's still impressive for the console. And the fact that the game is fully 3D and none of that pre-rendered crap you saw in Super Mario 64, not Super Mario 64, Mario Kart 64. This game just looks way better in my opinion. It also helps that it's got the skilled hands of Rare behind it. I don't think there was a developer that understood the ins and outs of the N64 better than those guys. I really wish they were still with Nintendo. Can you imagine what they would have done on the GameCube? Instead of wasting their talents on Xbox. I guess I shouldn't say that. They have made some good games on the Xbox brand. I hear Sea of Thieves is really good. But that's a multiplayer only game, so I don't really have a lot of interest in playing it. God, I love it when that happens. That's another victory for old Jaker. Definitely making good time with this so far. This is for you. So yeah, I've heard some people say that Raj is an offensive stereotype. And playing some older Rare games, there are a couple of characters where you could definitely make that argument. But I don't know, I think Raj is for the most part harmless. Like, I just see a character, I don't really see like a negative representation of someone else's country. But then again, I'm a dumb American, so what do I know? Less of a Christmas theme here, but still fun nonetheless. I love how they got a Bumper and other characters in sort of a Mount Rushmore style mountain up there. You can tell the developers are just having fun with this game. I'm having fun with the game. This just takes me right back to when I was a kid. It's so much fun. This is for you. Alright, one more race. Then I can race the boss. Frosty Village.
Frosty Village.
I always thought this one had a nice Christmas vibe to it. Da, 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 da. Actually intentionally using the NES fog there. A lot of games at the time would use the N64 fog to hide pop-in. But as you can see, Rare's got it dialed in pretty well. They don't really need to use it a whole lot. Most of the level is loading in from a distance. They sure did know how to make them. Got a nice lead on everyone. I'm not even using items, really. Not in the water, not in the water. Nothing to it. And through the winter levels already, and it's not even a quarter till 9 yet.
This is for you.
Alright, what's behind door number 2? It's a walrus with a bib.
Well done. Now I challenge you to a race.
I was expecting like a giant polar bear or something. Maybe a penguin. So yeah, now we got the hovercraft here. And if I recall correctly, this walrus here is pathetically easy to beat. It's not as much a dirty cheater as that Triceratops is. I think I'm already starting to outrun him. I can't even hear him behind me anymore. Yep. And look at how far behind he is. I won that by a country mile.
Well done. Now try to collect all the silver coins from the snow world. Collect 8 from each level and win. Then come back and see me.
The snow world, you mean Frosty Village? Not Frosty Village. Snowflake Mountain?
I've got something special for you.
Take your finger off the... I see. Alright, let's head to the next world. Alright, he wants to be schooled first.
I challenge you to a race. Alakazoo.
Ah, couldn't see where I was going there for a second. See, as I said, the hovercraft, it's not as fast as the cart, but I think it is faster than the plane. But the main benefit it has is that it can go on any terrain, including water. That being said, when you hit land, it's a little hard to control, because you tend to slide to the side a little bit. Loosely tight, I would call it. Ah, I couldn't see that. Final lap. There you go. And another victory for Jager.
Hello, friends. Bye-bye for now.
Come here. Makes me think of that scene from Finding Nemo. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. There we go. Okay, let's go do some the beach levels before it's time to call it. Whale Bay.
Whale Bay.
Now this makes me really want to play Wave Race. Once again, you can definitely see the influence for Sonic and Sega All-Star Racing Transform. Diddy Kong Racing influence in it, I mean. Yeah, this was just something you didn't see at the time with racing games, and even today you don't see this kind of thing done. Just makes for more variety in the racing than there otherwise would be. And again, some really fun music too. All sounds like surf music or something you hear in Hawaii. I love how when you finish the track, you just hear like the racers zooming across it, in addition to just the really excited proclamation of finished and the crowd cheering.
This is for you.
Alright, what's next? Crescent Island by the look of it.
Christmas Island.
I swear when I was a kid I thought they were saying Christmas Island. That was before I could read. Shit, breaks. They like a pirate ship. It's almost like going to Disneyland with all the cool theming. Another victory for Jagger. I'm honestly running out of things to say about this game, but at the same time, like, I'm just enjoying getting footage for it. Like, part of the reason I never play games in their entirety is because I feel like you miss something if you don't play the game yourself. And again, Diddy Kong Racing, I cannot tell you how much fun it is to revisit this. It might look like a kid's game, but it really is fun to play. And it will give you a good challenge if that's what you're looking for. Once again, an overwhelming victory. I know it might seem like I'm just blowing through this, but believe me, we're almost to the first major difficulty spike of the game. See what happens. Hopefully I can remember where to get one. Actually, you know what we'll do? I'll go ahead and show you guys one of the silver coin challenges. Show you what that's all about.
Dino Domain.
Ancient Lake.
Ancient Lake.
So you can see a silver coin over there. See, that doesn't seem so hard. Then you realize they put the coins off the optimal line. And given the slipperiness of the controls, it can sometimes be hard to get at them. I got all of them, so now I just gotta win the race, but I'm gonna try to do something else just to show off. Missed it. That was a key, and if you manage to get that, you'll get access to a battle stage. Doesn't look like I'm gonna be able to get it though. Yeah, that's a silver coin challenge. That doesn't look too hard, but believe me, when you start going after the silver coin challenge in Snowflake Mountain, it becomes ridiculously hard. Took me forever to cinch that.
This is for you.
Alright, let's head back to, what was it? Pirate Lagoon? I don't know. Got a couple more minutes left. We'll probably finish up when we hit the first major difficulty spike. Treasure caves.
Treasure caves.
That sounded like treasure tombs.
Lap 2.
Once again, look at how far ahead I am of everyone. Alright, let's see if I can get past this next boss. This next point is where I remember the game getting really difficult.
This is for you.
Okay, I got 5 minutes to cinch this. Surely I can pull this off. it just me, or do his front tentacles look like a handlebar mustache? Ah, missed a start. Not off to a great start already. Missed. It's when you get close to him that becomes a problem because of those stupid landmines. Ah, missed again. Dadgummit! One shot. Ah!
Tough luck, kid. Maybe next time. Come back whenever you're ready.
Don't patronize me, squid face. Alright, one more try and then we'll call it for the night. Fair start. Ah. Get ya. I have a good lead. This is good. It's much easier when you're in front of him because he isn't dropping those landmines in front of you. Alright, looks like I got him cinched. Just in time for the end of the stream, too.
Well done, try my new challenge.
Yeah, I know how it works.
All the silver coins from my wall. Find 8 from each level and win. Then return to me.
Okie dokie. And that'll do it for tonight's stream. So, Diddy Kong Racing. Oh my god, do I love this game. Like, the graphics are fantastic. The music is amazing. The racing, it's reasonably tight. I love the item system. The watercraft, the airplane. It just adds so much to the experience, particularly in multiplayer. And I'm only just barely scratching the surface of what this game offers. You get a really good challenge out of the Silver Coin Challenge, and you also have to race all the bosses again, and they get progressively harder. There's actually a 5th set of tracks that I don't think most people are aware of, And you even got the battle stages too, so like there's a lot of meat in this game. And it just really pains me that this is just one of those Nintendo games that they just don't do a whole lot with. It's primarily due to the fact that most of it was worked on by Rare, which is why when they did a remake of the game for Nintendo DS, they had to remove Banjo and Conquer. But that version of the game is really subpar. It's got nothing on the N64 version. And with Nintendo managing to get Banjo-Kazooie for Nintendo Switch Online, I am praying that they do the same for Diddy Kong Racing, because I would love to play this online with my friends. Please make it happen, Nintendo. This game deserves more love than it gets. It doesn't deserve to be forgotten. It does not deserve to be forgotten. But anyway, that's going to do it for tonight, guys. If you enjoyed tonight's content, be sure to like and subscribe. I do these videos every week at 8 o'clock. I've still got a couple more Christmas videos to do. Next week, we actually are going to be playing Banjo-Kazooie, I can assure you of that. But if there's another game you would like me to play, preferably next year, because I've got everything I'm going to play planned out for the rest of the year, leave it in the comments, and if it's something I think would make for a good video, I'll go ahead and add to the list. But I hope you guys have a good night, and take care. And here comes the part where I awkwardly shut off the video.